Over the last several decades, household energy costs have become a persistent planning variable rather than a background expense. Electricity pricing fluctuates by region, infrastructure age, regulatory frameworks, and demand cycles. In response, a wide range of solutions has emerged, each attempting to address cost stability, availability, or independence. Most conventional approaches fall into infrastructure-heavy categories. Grid-tied solar systems require upfront capital, professional installation, permitting, and long-term maintenance planning. Off-grid solutions introduce additional layers such as battery storage, load balancing, and periodic component replacement. Portable generators add operational dependencies, including fuel sourcing, noise management, and mechanical servicing. Across these options, friction tends to concentrate around three areas: technical complexity, financial commitment, and ongoing involvement. Even when systems are designed to operate passively, the path to implementation often demands decision-making, coordination with specialists, and tolerance for uncertainty during setup. As a result, some individuals gravitate toward lower interaction alternatives, products positioned not as infrastructure replacements, but as conceptual or instructional tools that claim to simplify energy-related decisions without requiring system-level overhauls. It is within this category that the Energy Revolution system is typically presented. The Energy Revolution system is a digital instructional product, delivered as a collection of downloadable materials rather than a physical device or installed system. Its core format consists of written guides, diagrams, and explanatory documentation that describe how to assemble a small-scale electrical apparatus using commonly available components. Conceptually, the product frames itself around historical electrical experimentation, particularly ideas attributed to Nikola Tesla. Rather than presenting itself as a modern engineering platform, it adopts a narrative-driven structure, positioning its content as a reconstruction or reinterpretation of earlier electrical concepts. The scope of the material is limited to explanation and assembly guidance. It does not include hardware, tools, or pre-manufactured parts. All interaction with the product occurs through reading and reference, with the expectation that the user independently sources materials and decides whether to attempt construction. There is no embedded software, monitoring system, or adaptive component. The product exists entirely as static documentation. Updates, customization layers, or modular expansion are not central to its structure. Use of the Energy Revolution system begins with reading and interpreting the provided materials. Time commitment at this stage is dependent on familiarity with diagrams, basic electrical terminology, and comfort with instructional schematics. The product does not enforce pacing or sequencing beyond its internal organization. Interaction level is moderate. The material requires attention and interpretation but does not demand continuous engagement once the instructions are understood. Any physical construction, implied by the documentation, occurs outside the product itself and relies on external tools and components. Repeatability is limited in the sense that the documentation does not change between uses. The same materials are referenced whether the system is reviewed once or revisited multiple times. Environmental requirements are minimal from a digital perspective, as the product can be accessed offline after download. Any environmental considerations related to assembly or experimentation are external to the product and vary by user context. The system does not include diagnostic feedback, verification steps, or built-in validation mechanisms. Interpretation accuracy and implementation decisions remain the responsibility of the user. The Energy Revolution system is positioned toward individuals with a high tolerance for conceptual abstraction and low tolerance for managed services. It may appeal to those who prefer reading and experimenting independently, rather than coordinating installations or interacting with service providers. The product aligns more closely with people comfortable navigating ambiguity, as it does not provide structured oversight, certification, or performance benchmarking. Those who value simplicity in terms of ownership, having access to information without subscription models or ongoing support platforms, may find the format compatible with their preferences. Conversely, individuals seeking turnkey solutions verified outcomes, or regulated installations would likely find this format insufficient. The absence of direct support, system guarantees, or standardized performance frameworks may be a limiting factor for those accustomed to conventional energy solutions. The product also presumes a willingness to separate instructional material from empirical verification, as it does not independently validate the concepts it describes. When compared to conventional energy systems, the energy revolution system occupies a distinctly different category. It does not compete with solar arrays, generators, or grid services in terms of infrastructure. Instead, it exists as an informational alternative that emphasizes conceptual simplicity over operational depth. Unlike engineered systems that prioritize optimization, compliance, and scalability, this product trades customization and measurable output for accessibility and low-entry complexity. There are no configuration layers, no adaptive controls, and no performance dashboards. In contrast to energy solutions that require professional involvement and regulatory alignment, this system avoids institutional dependencies altogether. That avoidance reduces procedural friction, but also removes external validation and accountability mechanisms. The result is a product that functions more as a self-directed exploration framework than a managed energy solution. It simplifies engagement by narrowing its role to instruction alone, while leaving interpretation, execution, and evaluation entirely outside its scope. The material concludes without synthesis, resolution, or recommendation, remaining within its defined role as an explanatory artifact rather than an outcome-oriented system.